Hi everybody, welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way. We are on session 108 this week, um, and the run down, beat up, uh, out of its heyday city of Harbor, which hundreds of years ago was a thriving gem amongst the cities in this area of Clud, literally because hundreds, if not thousands, of people were rushing to the Snoring Mountain to pick away and dig incessantly at the chance of striking it rich with the discovery of valuable minerals, ores, and most notably gems. However, more recently, in modern times here at Carver, it is very much a rundown city. The outer walls, the outside of the glittering walls, a sprawling shantytown has set up inside the glittering walls beyond the gemmed gates. Um, what was once a modern, well kept, up to time city has, over the last 200, 300 years, fallen to neglect. However, there are some pockets of activity in life that are still keeping Carver afloat. Uh, Most notably, uh, as learned last session, is Scoot, the proprietor and entrepreneur who has started the Dusty Pick,
Did you not drink
a
it?
uh,
You want
business
me to drink
that.
one too?
Oh, CJ,
Oh,
you're not
sorry.
muted. You're good. A business that goes to the mountain and instead of digging for the gems and ores that seem to have been depleted, takes the rich soil and dirt from this mountain that oddly enough is potent, and um, yeah, he manages to pack it up and sell it and distribute it throughout Cled, a country that is already based heavily on agriculture and farming. The group did meet Willem Brittmeyer and his three brothers. William is the member of the Agronomist Guild, an extremely powerful faction in Cled, mainly because of what Cled is. It's a giant farming belt that is sent here as what I call the surveyor. I don't know what the proper term would be, but he tests the soil, grows different samples out of it, and makes sure that it is of high standards and quality and sellable. Essentially, getting a cut for the agronomist guild. Well, anyways, so going into the story, the group, after saving Willem's life from a group of thugs, uh, got an inn to meet Scoot, and with that, they got a means to get easily into the mines, where they had learned of a portion that was recently uncovered from a cave-in that happened centuries ago. Upon going, some of that spark of madness and possibility of striking it rich has kind of come back to Carver, and people all from the shanty town inside the glittering walls are either themselves going, or those that still have some affluence and coin are hiring teams to go and dig the uncovered area, as they um, named it. Well, some people are finding some gems, but what was discovered is people were getting injured, and they thought maybe it had something to do with sabotage. Other groups had been blaming the indigenous or the local uh, warren or network or community of kobolds that seemed to be native to this portion of Cled. The menagerie did some investigation discovering, and there seems to be something else. Upon traveling through the uncovered area, they found the three brothers working, and Grim, the one with the parted hair, half of it blonde, the other half black, had his arm essentially mauled while working, but they never saw a creature or anything do it to him. Uh, Later, with some speculations and some uneasy tensions and just a hunch, essentially, The group kind of started investigating the tools, and Karos took his hand axe and began to shave the wood off of the actual pickaxe that Grim was using, as it had the same like saliva snot on it, and that injured the creature that happened to be his pickaxe, as the axe itself split open, revealing a gnarly, fanged maw, slathering tongue, and as it bit into Karos's foot, and then latched its tongue on the wall, attempting to crawl away, Karos just cleaved it in two. Uh, Moments of what the hell is happening. Dregnar went one way, the group went another way, and they were trying to figure out if there's more of these entities that can mimic objects, tools, etc. The menagerie then went through and were successful in convincing people that they were here um, from an organization to inspect the tools, to investigate the sabotaging, and they fairly successfully were able to go through, and all the various groups mining in the uncovered area convinced them to allow them to inspect their tools. Where they brought flame to it, they etched a little bit in the wood, they did some tests, and nothing seemed to animate and bite back. The last of the groups in the tunnel was actually about 12 workers and 3 guards that they mentioned they were hired by Lady Estra of the Tephra shelf. But that being said, not able to find any more evidence or anything conclusive, they then headed to a location known as a tent. The tents are on the outside of the mine, but also not inside the walls of the city. And the tents have been here for centuries, run by the same family. And they met Kagita, the healer, who was nursing the injured Grim and surrounded by his brothers. There, after some exchanges, she took them to her personal tent where she dug up her great 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 grandfather's medical journals, which she thought were medical diaries, and thought they were mad ramblings of an older man. Speaking of chairs, where the bottom became a maw of teeth, uh, and other objects that attacked people that many centuries ago, as well as the story of reiterating a bedtime story, one of those ones that was like a warning to children, basically to get them to be good. That, yeah, if they don't behave, their bed could eat them. All this information, all this revelations coming to a head. Speculations here are ripe amongst the group. What is the sabotage? Who brought these mimics here? Other questions were already racing through their minds. And it seemed that the decision was to go back to Scoot, as something that was revealed earlier was Scoot has been here since before the cave-in, which had happened 200, 300 some odd years ago. So he's been here for a long time. So maybe he knows something. And we left our session with Willem, uh, returning with the group to the Dusty Pick, where the menagerie were waiting downstairs as Willem got access to go upstairs to the middle room where Scoot stays, essentially his office, and it looks like you guys are going to get permission to go talk to him once again. So yeah, any questions, concerns? Did I miss anything important to y'all?
Hey, what's up?
Right.
Good.
Cool. All right, 1 second, because Anita sent me like 6 texts while I was doing that.
Hail Jones, Lord of Chaos.
Okay. All right, so
It's quite the angle that Jones is assuming.
I can't see. He's literally blocking everything. Oh, sorry. Here, let's just do this. He's being.
There you go. Hi, Jones. You're the
You
one
get
we
Jones
really
camp a
wanted
little
to
bit.
see anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, as you guys are all gathered, it's the afternoon. All this has happened in the course of the morning. Running through the mines, investigating, that you are here to keep them safe or protect their tools for the sabotage. Nope, you want my cable, Jones. Keeping it simple, as you guys are down there, now you're actually waiting a little bit on Gritmeyer to come get you. You're seeing a little bit more of the functional flow here as you see teams leaving this large building, seemingly to go to the mines to go gather the dirt and the soils. But you also see that there's a sizable security corps here, similar to like those individuals that you saw in the Tefra steps, and even those that were guarding some of the miners. But they have a matching uniform, but they all seem to be employed and members of like the security detail for Scoot and his employees. Some time will pass, so you guys have a moment to exchange any thoughts or dialogue between yourselves if there's anything you need to do to prepare or get on the same page, potentially before going to see Scoot a second time today. So I leave it to y'all.
So I guess out of character, how much are we asking him about the creatures? Honestly, I'm trying to remember.
Not entirely sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of asking the party is. Like,
So the one thing I remember is like you guys, or at least it was alluded to that he's been here such a long time, so maybe he has some information about what caused the cave-in, or
oh, and we wanted to figure out how to best warn everybody.
yes,
Okay.
that's true. Okay.
Yeah. Let's go.
So I would say a good 10 to 15 minutes pass. It takes a little bit longer than last time, where it was 5 minutes and y'all got waved up. But eventually, you got some people like awkwardly walking by y'all, kind of smiling. I've been seemingly saying professional. You see different wagons being pulled by mules and oxen, pulling up with bags and bags of, well, what you think is dirt. But eventually, you are allowed. Willem steps out of the metal office, uh, makes eye contact with y'all, makes eye contact with the clerks. They wave, and everyone is allowed to pass through. Heading up those metal stairs, you enter the same office, which, it's functional in form. There is some decoration, but it is mostly a large metal room in a metal and brick building that has a desk for Scoot, as well as different shelvings and that with books and little collectibles that he's gotten over the years. And then there's a large wooden emblem that's detailed in metals that is basically like the symbol of the Dusty Pick, the two pickaxes crossed.
Yeah, I'll come in and I'll actually give him like a naval salute for no real reason and just say, "Sir."
He'll greetings. Oh, welcome back.
What did our friend here did he tell you why we came?
He mentioned you had disturbing news about the uncovered area, and we're seeking questions and answers about the past.
Yes.
As he's usually kind of reading or trying to look over him. For many of you, it's the first time you're really in close proximity to a Marion. But a lot of you have seen them throughout your travels. He may be a little bit difficult to read, but he sees the little backlit of his circular eyes, essentially. Uh, they seem to glow a little bit more as he maybe seems a little curious. And, what would you like to know about the past? Uh, I am aware of the rumors of sabotage for those trying to strike it rich. Um,
They got teeth and long tongues and so much spit. It's nasty. And just weird. That's 1 second it's pickaxe, next second it's like rah, 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 rah. Not cool.
for the sake of it, Rock, can you give me a performance check as you're going? "Arr, arr, arr, arr,
I like the not cool.
Oh god. 0.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. He just looks you over. He's like, I do not understand. Is he well? Has he inhaled too much soot?
That is a complicated answer.
But not
He's always
related
like
to the
this.
topic at hand.
Not related to topic. I guess no. I want anyone that's proficient in insight to try to read this individual.
Oh, I need to bring up Al's sheet. I think.
Oh yeah, if it's Al, then if
he
he
just
yeah
counts
he,
anyway.
his roll. Is,
Oh, you've got pre-rolls. That's right.
Yeah, I got pre-rolls for him.
Starting strong with an 8. And a
8
0.
total. Okay, so Al's first roll was a 16. Whatever his bonuses are on top of that.
His bonus
What's he
is
smell
plus
like?
3.
Oh, Scoot.
Yeah.
His positive perception is high enough. I would say, as we're kind of focusing in on that, I guess, Serge, he smells of
Suspicion.
no, it's interesting. He smells of. He does give off as his exterior is of a metallic, right? Like a golden Damascus steel. Huh? Yeah. But he does have a metallic odor to him, but he does also, in a weird way, the room that you're in smells clean, but not in like a chemical clean. Just it smells like a clean room, and it gives off just that slight. The whole area kind of gives off of a metallic smell. He gives off a metallic smell, but also one of the best way I could explain it is you get like the scent of maybe some oils, not in the sense of like perfumed oils, but like oils for function, likely to help him lubricate his joints and stuff like that. He is of older age.
You smell of the mine.
Like I am of Carver. The city is of the mine. So insight we got an 8, a 12, and Al was 19.
Yeah, it would have been 19.
It's kind of odd having Al be the one to pick up on it.
Yeah.
But it makes sense because I can kind of use him as a role play tool. So as you guys are kind of listening to him, Al will uncharacteristically, but sort of characteristically, kind of step. As there's no real seating for y'all right now, as you just kind of entered and began the conversation, and Al will say, "Scoot, you're old, right? Like as old as this city old?" And Scoot will kind of correct him and say, old, but the Carver was founded before I was wrought into this world. But I've been here for centuries, yes. The reason I asked is you seemed when Rock was going nar, you, you didn't seem entirely surprised. I have the feeling that what Willem brought up to you and what our friends are talking about, you've heard of before. And if you are this old, we've come to know about why the cave-in happened, if you have any information. And maybe a little bit. You guys can kind of tell now that a little bit surprised. Scoot, his posture maybe changes a little bit, where he was a little bit more, rigid and standing firm. You see that there is a human slump to him, where his shoulders kind of roll. If he could let out a proper sigh, then you can kind of imagine him sighing, and then
Instead, it's a hiss of steam.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, basically. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. Out of his grated vent, that is his nose.
I thought I was the only one that blew off steam.
Yeah, and he'll turn to Willem and say, Willem, thank you for bringing me some capable individuals that have taken upon themselves to do some investigations. If you would be so kind, as a pseudo hired employee, member of the agronomist guild, I would like some time to speak with them in private, and I would allow you to please check on your brother. Ensure that I will have him and the three of them paid for days missing. I'm not gonna roleplay the snippy discussions, but basically Willem's a little surprised by this. Gives you guys kind of the once over, and just kind of nods, and you see him kind of, as the older brother out of the four of them, that seems to always be the one that's solving the problem, the one that's getting kind of asked to leave the room. Maybe is a little weird for him. But you'll hear him as he says, "Good luck," and step out. And now
Bye-bye.
you guys, and you guys have the room. With Scoot. And Scoot will. Yes, I was here when the collapse happened. Um, Contrary to what many believe, it was no accident that that the portion was collapsed. Many think or thought back then, and as history has said, it was an accidental collapse. But as well, as I feel it is no need to cover up or lie, I can say that it was orchestrated for the betterment of Carver. In fact, something that I had sort of forgotten about until recently. The Tefra
Lord.
trustees.
Sorry, say that again. The Tefra what?
The Tefra trustees.
Ah.
Have we talked about the kobolds?
You have not. What would you like to discuss?
I mean, are they a welcome presence in Carver? Did they just happen? They're of the mountain, I guess.
They have been here as long as I can remember. I see them as community members.
So, is there like a figurehead to kobolds in the area?
There is, but they are not in Harbor. Well, they are in the mountain.
If we wanted to talk to them, is there an easy way to do that? Is there like a place, or is it more confusing than that?
I would say try to strike up conversation with some of them, see if they are willing to assist. I have never been to their main settlement.
Which is where?
Thank you.
Where is that?
Somewhere amongst the mountain.
So you don't know where it is?
Unfortunately, no. It has never been something of priority.
I see.
Al will kind of, again, kind of like raise his hand. Trustees?
No, I'm trying to clean out my air gun. Sorry, I'll turn off the sound.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, I was wondering if that was me that was like making
No.
a weird sound. So, yeah,
Got a-
Al will.
got a tattoo gun firing over there.
Mhm. Um, uh, Owl trustees? Who are the Tefra trustees?
Yeah, I didn't think there was like any organization that really ran this place, but it sounds like there might be.
When Carver was rapidly expanding after the Gem Rush had begun, certain groups that got here either first or were fortunate enough to strike it lucky early on were the ones that were able to hire individuals to work for them as protection, and these groups rose to prominence and power. Uh, some of them later saw it as a means to create a governing body, if you will. Those that held the power made the rules. The trustees were a collection of these families and groups. You can see a skeleton of their former selves in the Tefra shelves, which, if you guys remember, it's
We
a
walked
little
through there.
shortcut. Yeah, you were able to walk through. The
I'll never
trustees.
understand city people and their desire for power.
I, unfortunately, can relate. It is.
Are you part of this group, the trustees?
I am. I have never been a head member. I had worked for one of the families before, well, creating this.
Ah,
Anyways, there's mimics in the mine. Wait, did we already say that?
we would describe them. We didn't name them, but yeah.
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 Actually, out of character.
Yes.
Oh,
Are those?
yeah,
are
we don't actually know the name
Right.
that they're mimics.
Oh, but
forgot about
I would say no one ever actually wanted to do an Arcana check to see if they knew what they were. I think one person did, right? If I remember last session.
I didn't want to push it. I didn't want to name them.
No, that's fine.
There was a scary pickaxe trying to eat us. Why?
Yeah.
More important
Yeah.
things than learning its name.
No, I understand. As you say that, Saj, he'll say, yes, one of the many things forgotten in the twisting caverns of the mountain. Brought here long ago.
brought here?
Wait, you guys knew these things were here?
Some of us are aware.
Do you know why they would suddenly be showing up in force like this? Or why specifically in that one section? Is that why you guys collapsed it? Is that why you thought it was for the betterment of Carver to keep those things buried?
Not entirely.
I mean, not entirely. Just yes or no. What the heck?
That is not why we collapsed it. To answer yes or no.
Okay.
Okay, but where did they come from, and why are they so hostile now?
One thing, and I will go to James. You're really soft. You sound like you're a mile away.
Yeah, you do, buddy.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay, and then why are they hostile? Why now? Was that what your question
Yeah.
was?
Yeah, like what the heck? And if you
They
knew
had-
about them, why weren't you like, ooh, it's sabotage? Why? You knew what it was.
I had honestly forgotten about them.
Insight check.
Better?
Go for it. Say a few things, James. Just talk.
Is this better?
Better. I'll turn you up a little bit if I can on my end.
Well, no, I got a new mic, so let me check. Let me mess around the settings on my side.
Yeah. All right. So for Davis 22 insight. um, you know what? He actually kind of comes off as he forgot that. It's not that he
I mean, I'm getting the sense that he tends to forget a lot of things.
Yeah, like he's remembering now that they're there, kind of situation.
Gotcha.
Like he's not lying that he forgot, but it's
Right.
not that he didn't entirely not know that they were there. He's just like, oh yeah, we did put them there, kind
Yeah,
of
like,
thing.
shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, I knew there was something about uncovering. No, not quite like that, you know.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
yeah, but it's more like, oh yeah, he's
That-
got
that
damage,
computes.
y'all.
How about now?
Oh, much better. Hi, you're in the same room now. Oh, I like it.
Okay, so I'm gonna be like, we shouldn't be beating on the bush here, dude. Either tell us what the hell's going on, or what you know, because this is kind of bullshit. You want us to, go into a damn mine and mess around with things, and you're holding things back.
Yeah, we've been quite forthcoming, and it just feels off that you might not be hiding. It feels like you might be hiding something.
Alright, you two, give me a persuasion check.
Honestly, deception check. We have not been fucking forthcoming.
Oh, I guess.
Either
yeah,
one
you're
could
right.
potentially work, I would say, frankly.
Yeah, you're right. I guess.
Is
thank
it
you.
really deception if he didn't ask?
Omission is not lying.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's why I'm
it's
like,
not
either
lying.
technically could work because
You could do either. I'll allow either. Yeah. I'll allow either. I guess even James, if you wanted to intimidate, you technically could.
Just throw a D20
That's true,
and
you're
say
kind of-
whatever you want.
Kind of getting up in his face.
You're right. I actually have to think about it. So yeah,
I got a 16 on intimidation if I'm using charisma.
Okay. Yeah, it would. In this case, it would be charisma because you're not like actually like flexing or trying to like shake the table.
Right.
And then
Mad dwarf.
and Sag, players.
Sag.
What's your, and tell me if it's persuasion or deception.
We'll go with deception because that's more fun.
I like it. Actually,
Okay.
yeah,
I
I'm gonna help him if I can. Actually, let me. I think I remember. I don't think I've used it.
Okay, if you want.
Well, it's checked off, but I don't remember using it. Maybe I did. I may have used it. So never
Okay.
mind.
Right.
Are you gonna help me?
I can't,
So is
I
it?
can't.
No, he
Okay.
can't. Then no
It's
one.
12.
12. Okay.
Not bad.
He looks at you, says, and you see that he's like narrowing and looking, like where the shutter behind his eyes kind of, and then he kind of picks up that you're not being completely honest. And then he looks at the at Dregnar and says, honestly, very well. I am recalling. Yes. So to beat around the bush a little bit more, if you will entertain me. Some hundreds of years ago, during the Rush, the Braggarts' War was still raging. However, Carver seemingly was able to continue its prosperity amongst the war, but we were far enough away. However, this did not mean that supply lines and other uses of the area were not established. One evening before the sun had set beyond the horizon and the moon had taken the sky, a purple green cloud came. We thought it was a storm of sorts. From it, the birds, the bugs, they rained from the sky. Upon investigation, they had all died, foaming at the mouth, eyes clouded. People panicked. Shortly after, news spread that the supply line was affected. Later, it was uncovered that supply wagons seemingly had crashed from the storm in the sky amongst Carver. Many thought that was the sounds of thunder and lightning that evening. Time passed. Nothing had happened. Then, strange incidences of people being injured, gone missing, limbs severed, strange stories of doors attacking people, chairs swallowing people. People thought it was akin to the madness driving them to dig. The medical tents had not seen things of this nature before, and with some investigations and efforts by the shelf members, the Tefra trustees, it was uncovered that there were these mimics, as you call them, seemingly being transported and have become loose amongst Carver. Efforts were made to exterminate them, but they were difficult to track. For a decade or so, practices were set in place to be cautious. However, others wanted to see if they could benefit from these, gaining more power, more control. It looks directly at you, Gregnar. It was uncovered that these creatures were smart, could be reasoned with, could enter into negotiations and contracts.
So you're
Maybe.
saying the dwarves over here got in negotiations with the mimics?
No, the 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 shelf members, the trustees, and some other groups. The the monastic. Are you talking of the monastic forge masters?
Do you know the monastic forge masters?
I did not know them. They were driven out. Some, and I had this pulled up, and I was looking at Discord, and I lost my timeline. They were driven out 500-ish years ago.
Driven out through. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go. You're just gonna say the night of the raining birds and strange cloud was more akin to 350, 400 years ago. So they were already long gone.
Were you here when they were driven out?
I was working the mines.
Were they driven out of this entrance at Carver or another entrance?
They were driven out over time. Some speculate that not all of them had left, but decided to barricade themselves deep inside the mountain.
Is there another main or another large entrance into the mountain besides this one here?
No, the entries have historically been the primary entrance used by those of Carver, though I would imagine there are numerous entrances from individuals seeking to find different mining sections.
The one that I'm referring to would be a large entrance, not like a small cave entrance.
Again, I apologize, but this is not something I am aware of.
So you or whoever knowingly let miners go back into the collapsed cave, knowing that there was a possibility for these mimics to be in there. And then once the attacks occurred, you didn't do anything, warn anybody, or try to stop the attacks from happening. You had to have known what it was.
You may not believe me, but it had been something that I had forgotten until recently. I had a hunch something was up, but that was, please understand, not the initial intent of the collapse.
So, what is your plan now that innocent people are being hurt?
I am uncertain because the initial contract was for the mimics to keep, well, those of deep within the mountain at bay. They are not initially to attack miners. Something has changed.
Who within were they designed to keep the Forge Masters that barricaded themselves stuck in there? Like, who's deep within the mountain?
Not
Yeah.
Forge Masters.
Who else?
What
Then?
was?
Can I ask a stupid question? What's the point of
Well, I kind of want
What's the
my
point of-
question answered first. Sorry.
Oh no! Please go ahead. I didn't know there was a lingering question.
Who are they keeping at bay? This contract.
Those that had been lost to the mine. Their incessant digging. Humanity lost.
Oh, so
Driven
like
to
madness.
madness.
Gotcha. So you're just like burying them alive underground, and keeping them guarded with disgusting monsters.
They were a threat. They had. I don't have a good word for it other than devolved, so he'll just say devolved.
Yeah, fair enough.
They had evolved. They were, no longer man or woman. They were, I do not know.
You mean like literally like changed? Like you couldn't possibly heal their minds in some way? I mean, magic was pretty strong, I've found, and it can do things. Is there no way of restoring their sanity or their humanity? Seems pretty inhumane to literally bury them alive.
I look at Davis and then look at it, and you said inhumane? And I kind of look at the.
I get it, but you know, they're maybe not human, but they're still they're people.
Please understand, I may not appear to be of flesh and bone, but I am still one that is of soul, like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people with souls do that all the time.
I mean,
Please understand, I was not a member of the Tefra trustees. This is things I had learned later.
So, okay, so this was all the Tefra trustees just saying they're unsalvageable, we were gonna just bury them alive, and then to make sure they stay in there, we're gonna negotiate with these weird monsters that just showed up one day, and...
Fell from the sky, yes.
Yeah. More questions about that later. And we're gonna just be like, hey, what do they get out of the deal? What do the creatures get out of this? Like, what's the contracts usually have, both sides get something. What do they get?
They get a home, and I believe it was understood a place to stay and be undisturbed, and potential ready food source. I believe context of timeline is required. These individuals, as I said, that were no longer of sound mind, they were not simply recently missing. It appears the mountain itself, the spiraling madness, the depths of its core, many were lost. In fact, I would say every week people would become lost, driven to dig, driven to find. There was something unnatural about the lust for the gems. They would dig through the night, and simply one could imagine the oil in their lanterns would burn out, lost to the darkness. Over hundreds of years, it is speculated that those that survived, well, created something of a community, but forever changed by the dark mountain core.
So do you think that there are still these people deep in the mountain? Somehow
they eating?
surviving? Yeah.
It is speculated that they found
Like
some
fungus and
food
stuff
source.
underground? Jeez.
Yes, it is. It was once noted that a strong scent of, well, of musk and fungal scent was accompanied by some of their approaching. Please understand, I had long ago seen some of them. They were no longer people, as if you would say a bird as akin to a bat. Features there, proportions and textures and functionality different. They were greed rot, as we called them. Rot as in like brought into the world.
Right,
You know,
right.
W, yeah.
Not ROT.
Rot.
Yeah, not rot, like rotting away, but greed rot.
Well, Davis,
Yeah, it just
I
seems
think
kind of
we
fucked
learned
up.
about. I think we learned what we need from this dude. Do you still want to go on our search for what we're looking for?
Well, I mean, we had some other questions. Sedge, did you have a question? Sorry, I interrupted earlier.
Your question satisfied my answer.
Gotcha. So I guess did nobody?
I got a question.
Oh, go ahead.
How long ago was this pink purple cloud of random bad stuff happening to everything?
350 to 400 years ago, I think you said, right?
Was it? Okay.
It was sometime before the gems dried up, but it was after the trustees were established.
And nobody thought to try and figure out what the fuck that brought that on and where that came from. And I'm assuming it never happened again.
It was something we akin to possibly the war efforts. It did not negatively
Oh,
affect.
yeah, the war was going on then. But like, what war effort would just randomly throw purple green clouds at a town and have it poop beasts all over it? Dead ones.
I mean, we accidentally made a random purple crowd that made it go crazy.
I mean, our cloud was red, which is way cooler.
Kind of did the same thing, though.
But you're 100% correct.
Also, what's with gems making people go crazy? This is now the second time we've dealt with gems, and people are like, gems!
I have to assume this was before my time.
The red cloud was not.
Oh no, the red cloud was definitely not. I remember that very. I wish I could not remember that.
And you were with us when we uncursed the gems. You
Yeah,
just
the
weren't with us
gems
when
we
got
went
the gems.
back to and got back at Volpine just recently.
Oh, is that what that?
Yes.
I didn't go with you to retrieve them, but I knew you had something weird about them.
Oh,
I just
yes.
didn't ask.
I'm sure Al remembers it quite vividly, and I'll like stare at him.
We probably shouldn't talk about them in the presence of others anyway.
They're
Al
done.
just gives that shit-eating grin, and like he's got his sort of illusion face going. So he's like not reaching in for scratchies. I will say, yeah, Scoot is just kind of, he's just standing amongst
Yeah.
y'all on his other
Oh,
side of the
so
desk.
now that you suddenly remember all this, how are we gonna keep people safe? Are we gonna are you gonna close down that section again? I mean, it seems either that or we somehow exterminate like you try to do before. But it seems like you said they were difficult to track, so I don't have any help there.
I should ask, and I know you guys didn't roleplay this, but like when you guys were discussing about what you saw about the mimics, not knowing what Willem would have told him, obviously. Um, is there any details that you would have brought up that you maybe have forgotten during the roleplay portion? Because his answer heavily just relies on what information he has. If I'm just going to go with what information you guys have given me already, I will tell you an answer right now. But if there's something you want to make sure that you didn't forget to tell him, I'm
I
good to
like
go.
what Rock said.
Which was the
Teeth and mouths and tongues.
the teeth and mouths.
Teeth
Yeah,
and...
yeah,
No.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Well, we could throw in the pus or whatever it was, and then have their ability to move with their tongue, and how they seem to have some kind of intelligence depending on when they would attack.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I
Yes.
guess we would say we could also reveal how Karos essentially figured it out by
Yes.
carving one.
It's like, well, my concern is this. The initial mimics that were used understood their portion of the contract and agreed to it readily. Little is known. You said the size of a hand axe. The ones that were initially put there were larger. They took the size of chairs and other pieces of furniture. It is speculation, but perhaps as they are creatures, they were able to procreate, and now we are dealing with those that are not bound to said contract. I am concerned, as you had mentioned, that there were tools and equipment scattered at the mouth of the uncovered portion, and
Yeah.
people seemingly using them, that they had now taken them out of the cavern, and we have young mimics amongst the city once again.
And when he says that, Adam, I'll pull the pickaxe and the lantern. I'm like, yeah, these are what the tools look like that I saw.
Have you checked this one?
No, why don't you check it for me?
Very well. And he goes and he just grabs like a pen off the desk and then just kind of starts scratching on it. Very well. Time to use other methods. And he'll get essentially like he's got like candles, like there has to be some other additional illuminated sources. So he's got sconces in here. And he'll take a wick, light it, and open up the portion of the oil lantern that you had. And he will attempt to light it and say, "Interesting, no oil." And you guys will see that as he's kind of pushing the flame into it, that the door that he opened begins to kind of morph and teeth begin to form. And then he will say, "Hello there," and just punch it real hard.
Damn it, Dragnar! Why did you check it? What the
My
heck?
point made. There
I
are
did-
likely
I
dozens.
got it checked.
They've been carrying that thing around. It could have been any of us.
Wait a minute. You're talking to somebody else about carrying dangerous things around?
My
was
bag is
just
well behaved.
going to say that.
My bag is well behaved, and we are becoming best friends.
That
I
bag
wasn't even
nearly
gonna bother
devoured all of us.
I wasn't even going to state the obvious. I was just like shaking my head at Rock.
I had to.
I gently just pat my bag on the top.
Hope it bites you.
Roll a save.
Con save.
So, as you guys are like briefly having this like exchange, and the lantern kind of goes a fly in as he punches it off his desk, all of you get this ping in your head of essentially a voice. It's more like a thought, and it's just like ow. And because the way that it works, you can tell that it's the mimic that's like communicating. Oh,
Interesting.
they have telepathy. They're awesome.
Ow.
And then you'll see that like as it like falls, it kind of like the door kind of swings like in a it's still mostly a door, but you can kind of see like some teeth, and it swings and it pops itself and it rights itself, and then the door closes and the teeth are, and it's just like,
Hey, did you just talk in my head thing, mimic friend? Hi, I'm Rock.
Oh God.
No.
You can't be friends
Yeah,
with this
you
one too.
said we could try to talk to it, and we could just make them leave without eating people. That's better than having to try and figure out who they are and murdering everything.
Hey, Rock, see if it wants to talk to your bag.
No.
Also, keep in mind that this thing, or its parents, or parents' parents, knowingly entered into a contract in which they were entrapping people to eat them alive.
Well, I didn't say they were good, but maybe we can get rid of them. Well, hi, lantern thing. Can you understand me?
the door opens and shuts like waving.
That's fucking weird.
Oh no.
I'm
Get smart.
I go grab. Hold on, Adam. I go grab the pickaxe and I try to break the handle over my knee because I only want to deal with one of these fucking things.
You break a regular pickaxe.
Nice.
It's like whack. Okay, just
Yeah.
want to make sure.
It doesn't dissolve into the green goop that quickly dissipates. It just okay.
Guys, what do I say to it?
Go away.
You get the rock. It's communication, like telepathic communication. So words are even images and pictures. You just get the sense it's hungry.
God.
I'm gonna feed it a ration.
Jeez. Rock feeds things.
Yeah, I will minus a ration from my inventory. What happens
Okay.
when I feed it a ration?
You toss it, and you see like the hinge opens, and where the well for the oil is, it forms into this purple slathering tongue, and just pulls it in, and then the door shuts, and you just see like it kind of like going through a munching motion. And then Scoot will kind of interject and say, "This is how I recall initial communications were made."
You just fed it things, and then eventually decided, hey, these can eat people for us?
We learned that they are much smarter than they seem, and they do not. Please, you keep calling those that were greed rot people. I assure you, if you were to see them, you would be terrified, and they would no longer be considered people.
But there's gotta be a better mercy for them than getting eaten alive by lanterns and pickaxes.
They collapsed the tunnel. They were to be left alone.
They intentionally collapsed it? I thought you said that the trustees chose to.
That's what I mean. That's what he's saying.
The trustees got it. Okay.
And then you just happen to forget about the tunnel being collapsed, and now normal people that you would deem ordinary people are being eaten. Go look at your tent.
I love how Dragar gets so aggressive, and like literally he's got like a crack in his head. He's just like, apologies for the flaw in memory, but it is terrible. But it is not the worst thing the trustees have done. You should go with them.
And you still work for them,
I work for Carver.
which is ran by the.
By no one currently. They seek to hold power, but there is, well, you've seen this city. It is in Swallows. It is forgotten. It is falling apart.
Okay, I'm gonna walk outside. I'm gonna look at Davis before I punch this dude in the face.
I love giving you difficult people to work with. It's so fun.
So,
Mr. Lantern friend,
oh boy.
is all you want to eat? Is that it? You just want to eat? The whole goal in life is eat things?
I doesn't seem to respond right
Well,
now.
so yeah, while he's doing that, I'm gonna ask Scoot. I'll say, so I don't know if you've ever really communicated with these things, but you said there were negotiations. Can these things like? So I heard, I guess would be the right word. It feel pain, but it wasn't like a language. It was just like a feeling. Can they communicate in any language way, or is it all just like raw emotion type stuff?
I frankly only know what we are experiencing now. My
Is it
interactions with
something
them.
you just don't remember? You want to dig in your memory banks a little harder and look for that in there, maybe?
Everything. Um, I assure you, I was not part of the initial negotiations.
I'm gonna hello again, Lantern friend. I'm gonna do something that allows us to talk with you better. Don't eat me, because you see the angry dwarf, the way he broke the pickaxe. He would like to do that to you, and I'm not gonna let him unless you try to eat me, and then I don't have a choice.
So
So
as you
just
say, E, like one of the corners, like if you kind of imagine, like the hood lantern, there's like little welding corners. One of the corners kind of balloons out to an eye, and it looks and it blinks at you, and then kind of goes back in.
okay, yeah, good. I'm gonna take that as okay. It's gonna take a few minutes. So we're just gonna just sit quietly and don't eat anybody, and then I'm gonna start my ritual for telepathic bond.
Okay. It doesn't seem to move. Dragnar steps out of the metal room. Yes. Yeah, and that would be his 3 for honor roll.
Ah,
He's like,
shit. So a total of 6.
yeah, he's like,
Now you suck.
Good, I burned the roll. Okay, good.
like, I mean, dude, this is the first time I've heard the word mimic, and that's usually I thought that was like what when birds mimic sounds and
Yeah,
stuff.
like Marb, they can do the mimics and stuff too. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Not. They're really good at changing their shape, man. You can't tell.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's not cool. I mean, it's cool, but it's not cool
Yeah, I get you.
because now I'm
Everything in
starting.
my pocket could be one.
I know, right?
If I hear Al say it's cool, I'm outside. It's not fucking cool, Al.
I'll be like, sorry, Dragnar. It's not cool. It's really cool, David. It's really cool.
Yeah, no, I get you. You're right.
Could you imagine like having a guitar made out of one of those things?
God, my mind is racing.
We'd have to
Seems
call you
like
Stumpy. You wouldn't have any fingers left.
Yeah, good way to lose your fingers.
Yeah.
The good way you make a
What's-
friend with it and you just
What's
Whoa,
to
whoa.
stop it from just getting hungry and then just taking a nibble out of your
Yeah, you've been
finger,
hanging out
and
with
then
Rock
you
too
just
much.
lose a finger.
Maybe I have been hanging out with Rocket. Maybe you're right. Maybe we'll just take a finger.
Don't make friends with crazy things that want to eat you.
But
That's a
And then
terrible
Rocket.
rule. Look at all the friends I've made.
We didn't want to eat you. I just wanted to hurt you occasionally.
Yeah. We'll say that like during this, Scoot will say as he's like doing the ritual casting, there is perhaps more information to be gathered from the remaining Tefra trustee families, though I fear none of the original founding members exist, but their children
Yeah, are you like the oldest
survive.
person in town?
That is a high chance of probability.
Yeah, I
At least
figured.
that has lived here for an extended amount.
Right. That's what I meant. But,
But
you know,
you
they may
could,
have records or history, you
yes,
know.
I'm sure, as it were, that those in power like to keep documents and potential blackmail for others. So I'm sure if you speak to the head of the Estra establishment or the Ichi group or others in the Tefra shelf, though they would not likely divulge information.
I don't think they would exactly welcome us just showing up, though. We would need some sort of introduction. Know anybody who might be able to do that? And I'll just stare at him.
I am not of the Tefra shelf, but the trustees do know me, and they know that I am trying to keep Carver alive.
And so, when we started this conversation, the word sabotage was thrown around. Could it be someone on the Tefra is trying to sabotage basically everybody else and drive them out using these things again, like they've secretly negotiated? If so, do you have anybody in mind you think that might be that devious and foul?
You see, he's just thinking. He's.
Processing.
And he like stutters a few times as he tries to counter through. Honestly, I would say any of them are capable of such a thing if they had inherited their families and organizations' will.
Yeah, that tracks.
We're not interested in the details. We're interested in results. Can you please tell us anything on how to get to talking to any of them?
I will have to reach out and say that it is of importance.
Okay, well, I guess we might better move on to pursuing our interests while this happens then. Is there a good time that we should come back?
I am unable to predict how quickly they will respond, so unfortunately, no.
We'll just be back in due time then.
As you wish. What will you do with the lantern?
Is my 10 minutes up?
Sure.
We are going to talk to it, see what it wants, and hopefully find a happy solution for everybody.
Okay, so Rock, immediately as you get it, you get, as I'm just gonna translate it into words, he's like, don't notice me, don't notice me, don't notice me, don't notice me, I'm just sitting here, don't notice me, don't notice me. I'm not here.
Lantern friend, I can hear that. Hi, you can hear me too. Sending this as thoughts now.
Hello.
Like, look, I'm noticing you. Hi, we can talk now.
Okay, well, since you've noticed me, and it just kind of lets go of the whole charade, and eyeball sprout, mouth opens,
Ah,
looks
shit!
at you, blink, blink.
Oh, I would have passed the bond on to like 6 or 7 or however. So all you guys would have had it too, assuming you guys
Okay,
want.
got it.
Yeah,
But not
it wasn't
Dragar,
just
he's not in the room.
Yeah, not Drakkar.
Yeah, that way when you go, oh shit, I run in and I stomp it to death.
No, Drakkar, back off! Feed you to a bag.
Bring it.
Yeah. What do you want, friend? How can we help you?
I want to go home. Home, 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 home.
Where's home?
The dark. The cold.
That's the cave that we found you in?
Yes. Home, 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 home. Home is good.
Are there a lot of you there?
I have many brothers and sisters.
Okay.
Would you be able to tell us... Wait, can I talk to him? Or no?
Yeah, you
Is
can.
it only rock?
Nope. I shared the bond with Ollie.
May I have a word, Rock?
Yeah, please.
If we were to bring you with us, would you be able to guide us home?
I was in a bag, or I was in something. I do not know how to get home.
Well,
Where
if
am
we got you to the cave that you came from, would that help?
I? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. How do you move around so fast? Heart of the mountain. Yeah, rock is Scoot part of the bond.
If there was space for him, sure. Accepted.
Okay, well then we need to read your spells because I don't remember how many people it targets. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Up to
I
8.
can do
It's
up
8.
to 8. So.
Okay, then yeah, Scoot would be part of it.
Scoot's not a person.
Yeah, it has to be a creature.
He's a
He
creature.
is of the soul. He has at least a soul.
True. So yeah, Scoot's part of it. He is quiet in the connection. Heart of mountain. I know there are caverns and darkness and fungal fields and stink places and gray food people.
Great food people.
They are
Can,
what? Hmm? Hmm. Uh,
Are the
uh,
kobolds gray?
no, no, no.
I think
Scaly food people too. Yes,
Oh, the shame.
but no. When you say they're trapped, he's like, um, um, they, they, they live in the
Oh
caverns
yeah,
and
to
in
you
the
it would
dark.
look like they live there. Okay, yeah, they probably want to be there. Yeah, that's true.
They have,
The crazy dig people.
mm, sorry, don't know crazy dick people. Just know, uh,
Gray food people.
really mean gray food people.
can you tell us what the agreement is between your people? What are the rules?
I don't know. But if we found one of the older ones of my kind, they might know.
How
I
do
didn't know
the
there was.
young? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't. I just chill and was disturbed, and now there's a lot of noise. It used to be nice and quiet. We used to just be able to sleep all day or all time.
Yeah,
And
that
now it's
doesn't really
just
mean anything.
yeah, all the time. And now it's just bink, 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 smash, smash, bink, smash, bink, smash, smash, bink, bink. It's annoying.
Yeah, I would be annoyed too. If we take you back to the nice dark cave that you call home, and we meet some of your friends, can you tell them not to eat us?
No,
He's honest at least.
That
I was gonna say
okay?
that's kind of fair, to be honest with you.
why would they listen? I mean, I'm not eating you because I don't want to die.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
okay.
you're smart enough for that, but we're not trying to kill you, and we're trying to save more of your kind from harm. I think that's where we're going with this.
Harm is bad. Saving from harm is good.
Well,
Yeah.
that's also confusing because we're the food.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't want anybody to get sad. You guys seem like you're happy just chilling. Um, I don't. I think we should go back to at least take this guy back to the cave. See
Well,
if we can, you know.
I will say that when the annoying disruption happened, it did um it did I'm trying to think of the word, sorry. It did wow, I had it and my brain just parted. Sorry guys. Essentially what he wants to say. Sorry, I can't think of it how to say it in his character.
Before he says it, then I'm gonna
Yeah.
like palm Rock on the shoulder, be like, Rock, listen, we don't want to put something potentially harmful for some unsuspecting innocent minor. Just keep that in
Yeah, but
mind.
you heard him. He said he was happy in the dark, cold, and life was good, and he just slept all the time. And then miners in there making noise, and it's hard to sleep. Like I'd be grumpy too. Maybe they can mine somewhere else,
I
or
agree,
maybe we can
but
find them a deeper part of the cave. Or, I don't know.
That's what I remember. You'll
Doesn't
get the
necessarily
sense.
seem evil. Just seems hungry.
Yeah, you'll get the sense that what he was trying to say was that their purpose in guarding something was now threatened, essentially. That's why they're reacting the way they're reacting. Like, the way, I don't know how to say it perfectly for him, but they basically inherited the contract of those that they came from, and that's like ingrained in them, and that they are to keep this portion, you know, clean away, like nothing is supposed to be here. That is
Yeah.
their.
So what does Scoot think about that? Is he like, yeah, maybe we should maybe we're digging in the wrong place. We don't want to open up old evil. We can dig a different tunnel.
I mean, as you're kind of like reaching out to Scoot in the bond, he'll just say, um, not telepathically because he's not used to it. He'll just say, well, the initial collapse was for protection of the miners. The initial collapse was done to keep greedy, the greed rot at bay. I fear that now that an opening has been made, it is only time before, as the little one said, they have home down there, that the greed rots start venturing further up and potentially attack other miners. Am I mistaken to understand this?
Sounds right. So maybe we should just not continue down that way. If you are, you're going to get eaten by lanterns and crazies and who knows what kind of thing.
Scoot will also interject. There is the problem that no one is being forced to go in those caverns. People go there willingly. They want to find the riches.
Well, you know, let them get eaten then. Why are we even here, guys? This isn't our cave. Let's just take this guy home and go help the swine folk, lizard people.
I mean, Rock, you know why we're here. You don't have to go. I'm here because I want to be here. You don't have to be here.
No, I know, but
I also feel like we're trying to solve way too many things at the same time.
I don't want my lantern friend to get killed, and I don't want him to eat some innocent person.
I mean, you
But if you've been
literally just
warned,
say
and
let them get eaten.
well, I mean, okay, if you've been warned that hey, if you path just for greed, things are going to eat you, and you get eaten, then that's your fault.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, don't poke the hungry bear because
That's
the
fair.
bear will eat you.
Provided
But
that you know what you're about to poke is a bear.
well, if we spread the word to everybody that these things exist, and that if they decide to continue digging, that they do it at their own peril, and we take this guy home to his family, I think that's all we can do for everyone.
uh,
You haven't been around that long. Do you have relatives that know of how you all got to the caves that you're in now that remember arriving here? Do you guys talk? Do you guys?
We, he'll say, we talk like this to ourselves.
But not to each
This
other?
is, no, amongst ourselves.
Amongst
Sorry,
okay.
amongst ourselves. We can share thoughts.
So, do you know of any older versions of you guys that would know more?
Yeah, yes, I'm sure there are many older versions.
Rock, would you like to talk to them and maybe get some insight onto her whole situation?
Sure.
Would they be
Something
willing?
with
Delightful.
the bigger mouth.
Maybe we can have like a homecoming for a whole bunch of mimics to take them to their land.
Yeah, maybe
Or-
because from what this gentleman here, and I'll point to Scoot, says that this isn't even your real home. Your real home is somewhere else, and you guys were brought here somehow. So maybe we
This
can
is
return
my
you.
home.
Well, it is now, but
I came here.
okay, fair.
I came from here. I don't want to go anywhere else. I want my dark. I want no annoying sounds. And I want to be able to eat the gray, scary people as they venture. Part of the will.
Excellent. So he's doing a service for everybody by eating the gray scary people. I think we should take it back. And Lantern friend, can I pick you up and take you back?
He reverts back to lantern form.
I'm going to pick up the not so scary lantern, and I'm going to
When you pick it up,
attempt to head in the direction of the cave, and then I'm going to stop and be like, who knows which way to go?
I'll look at everybody
as you
like,
pick
do we
him
want
up,
to do
the one
this
thing that
now?
you see. Oh, sorry.
I don't want this chompy thing. No offense, like hanging out. Who knows? We all fall asleep, and then it gets hungry and it eats a not scary person. We should take it back now.
I can remember where we went pretty clearly.
Hey, Dragnar.
Lead the way, sir.
Yes, Davis.
Do you wish that we? I'm gonna look at Davis, be like, hey, do you wish? Do we split up?
I was gonna say, Rock
I
wants
can
to
find-
take this thing back to quote its home. What do you think? Besides, I think
I
you're the
can
best at
accompany-
finding the way back.
I can accompany him, is what I'm offering. While you get other things done, because we have quite the list of things to do here now.
Yeah, the big one involves going back in that direction anyway, but we could also go talk with those families. Assuming our benefactor here sets something up.
I will go through the motions of setting something up, but no guarantee of when it will.
Okay, we got time.
Well, seems like we have time. Rock, this way.
Do you guys backfill me on what the discussion was since I was outside?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we literally talked to this thing. It's just wants to go home apparently and eat the scary people in the dark, and not be bothered by people, hacking away at the tunnels and making a bunch of noise.
We're walking away from the tent, right, Adam?
From the office,
You're not
we're in a
tent,
building.
You're
Yeah.
in.
From
You're
the
in
building.
A large building.
Once we're out of the building, I'm gonna be like, Davis, you do realize that those gray scary people are probably the people or the descendants of the people who made that thing that you are not carrying right now.
I don't think that's the case. As far as I understand it, these were not the Forge Master's relatives. They were the people who got greedy and dug.
Yeah, but he also said something about the monastic
Forge
people.
Masters?
Yeah. And those are the ones I believe that created that. And I believe these people are the descendants of them, or at least related to them.
If they've been transformed in the way that he says, I would like to, as scary as they may be, I would like to see exactly what has happened to them and figure out what's happened to them and see if they're salvageable.
I would like to see if they're salvageable or if they need to be dealt with in a more direct manner than being eaten alive by
Right.
whatever those things are.
It certainly seems odd that they were enough of a threat that they decided to make a pact with these creatures to serve as a sort of border guard, but yet they seem content enough to make a society down there changed and as crazy as they could. Well, I mean, they said that they're growing food and procreating, so there has to be some sort of semblance of. It might not be, what we're
Adam?
used to, but
Yes, James.
I have a question.
I do not have an answer.
Damn it. With my studies in the monastery and just, traveling and stuff like that, do I understand that there are multiple types of dwarves? Like different sub races?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I
Okay.
think everyone would understand that there's different
Are there
categories.
sub races that live entirely or the majority of their time underground?
Yeah, there's civilizations that do that. Sure.
And if I'm not mistaken, the monastic forger guys were dwarves, correct?
You are not entirely mistaken, but they were not strictly dwarves.
But there were a lot of them that were dwarf, right?
Yeah, there's dwarves, Chauncey, etc.
Okay. So I'll be sure to, their dwarves are, other than me, of course, are
Yep.
designed to live underground for long periods of time if they have to. And you guys, if you told me about the fungus and stuff like that, I'm like, they could survive off of that.
Apparently.
So what I would say we do is, if Rock seems hard pressed to make friends with these things, because he's Rock and he's a friend of mine, I won't kill all of them, but to me they're monsters. But I understand their purpose. I would say, as we're going through, if it could identify any more of its family members, I guess, we can bring them deeper into the tunnel with us, so the people that are here are less likely to get attacked by them.
Yeah, I see them as basically kind of like sharks. Like, if they fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck them up. But if they can be useful, I'll use them. But otherwise, I'm not gonna fuck with them, and they're not gonna fuck with me.
See, I don't, because with me, I see it that a shark is natural.
Yeah,
These are
no,
not
that's
natural.
true. This does seem a little fucking outer worldly.
So, for lack of a better term, if you look out of game, if you look at the beast versus monstrosity,
Yeah, true.
like the Hydra
I don't know that
lived in
Davis
the
knows
woods.
that distinction really.
But
though.
I'm just saying,
But yeah,
I couldn't distinct like that as Dregnar specifically, but that's how I see it. That it's kind of like the Hydra to me.
Fair.
Yeah, it lived in the woods, but it's not natural.
Yeah, that's not from the woods though. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Davis is pretty much with you on that, just without not in so many words.
Yeah. So I'll say, Rock, if your friend, as I do air quotes, would like to identify his family members, I promise I won't do anything like I did to the pickaxe. We can bring them deeper in so they're closer to their gray food source, whatever that may be. Gray people, or whatever he said, or she said, or it said, whatever it is.
Davis will actually repeat that through the bond, forgetting that the mimic can hear him.
Yeah, that's fine. So you want him to identify. Okay. You get the sense of compliance from the lantern.
And part of the identify would hopefully, without being said, that they don't attack us as we pick them up and bring them deeper into the tunnel.
Yeah, all bets are off if anything violent happens. Just saying. And I have faith in our ability to prevail in pretty much all of that.
Gotcha.
And then, Adam, I will lead everybody out back to the exact point where I picked it up.
Okay, so you guys are going back to the caverns already.
As far as I know,
As-
yeah.
As we make our way back, I'm gonna just kind of trying to talk when there's not too many people close to overhear, and just kind of touch on as like, you know, some of these people may be here of their own volition because they want to strike it rich. But when you're in an area like this where money, food, opportunity is hard to come by, you might be able to say that it's their choice to be down here, but you know, we just saw. God, I already forgot his name. The smart dwarf brother.
Yeah,
Willem?
Yeah, Willem.
Willem. Yeah.
You know, he was getting beat up over what, you know, a handful of a single day's wages that they thought he owed them. Well, he thought that his brothers owed them because of a perceived slight. I mean, if somebody stronger, if somebody with more ties, with more money, people with money.
I love our DM cam right now.
Yeah, I'm just giving you Joe's cam.
They come along and tell you, you know, it's time to pay up, and you can choose to either go into the mines or be beaten senseless. You know, I'm sure they're concerned about hard work, but it's not exactly like they know that there's something in there that can take a bite out of them. That being said, even if we spread the word and let know, I mean, some of the people in control could be desperate enough that they try to run in there with armed guard. I mean, you can tell that they already have some.
Yep.
I assume that the armed guards are only in there now just to protect any findings they may have, or ensure that the miners they're hiring aren't slinking away with coins and gems and ores that should, you know, that their masters want to have as their own. I just worry that the threat of violence may not be enough. You know, it's.
I look at Dregnar when he says that.
It's always enough.
For
Remember-
a day, for two, tell.
Remember, I do two things really well: meditation and decapitation.
It's true. A little bit of each.
Yes.
I'm losing control of my keyboard. Okay, there you go.
But I do agree with you. People are going to do whatever they have to make a living. That's why if we move the mimics as far inward as we possibly can, maybe they can actually make a living.
Yeah, and we can't solve Carver, I don't think.
No.
Right? We can't
No.
build a new order of how things work here. Like, we can maybe, you know, try and shift some influence from the families down to the more common folk somehow, but I mean, I hate to be selfish about this, but like, I really kind of just want to get in there and see what's going on, and maybe something fantastic and amazing happens. I don't know. I just think something weird's gonna happen.
I think us removing the mimics from the situation is the best thing we can do to help protect these people so they can actually try to earn a living.
And isn't something weird always happening around us? It's another thing to add to the list.
I mean,
Well,
things
not
happen
yet.
in the world, weird happen in the world. We just had to find them.
Yeah.
And it's usually not necessarily us, Rock.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I'm curious too. That emphasis on us was a little bit.
I'm just thinking about people that have been possessed and tried to kill us at least once or twice.
Okay.
Hey, that's not fair. I didn't.
Yeah, that's not fair. He's right.
I'm talking about Zarya. God.
Weren't
I'm
you
going to-
consistently being taken over yourself?
I was.
I'm going to catapult a rock at Dragnar.
Uh-oh.
But from behind, so hopefully he doesn't see it. It hits him in the back of the head.
Damn, good thing I have alert.
It's true,
Yeah.
guys. And
Hey,
danger
can't be
sense.
surprised. Yeah.
Danger sense.
Well,
But you know what, Adam? I'm gonna let it hit me because I probably deserve it.
Okay.
Wow. Nice.
I'll let Rock think he won.
Well, I feel bad now. That's 12.
Okay.
That's 12 of his almost 150 hit points. He's fine.
Oh.
And he
Oh,
was
no.
almost 10% of his life.
Oh no! I got hit by a rock. I wonder where that came from.
Heyo. Got hit by a
Heyo. All right.
You normally catch those. I storm off with my lantern friend.
Yeah, that Hey, hold on, Adam. You're gonna like this. Man, that spell really hurt.
Ah! I'm gonna have Pebble heal him. For,
All right. If you want to mark off your spell slots, you can. Go for it.
yeah, I will. Oh wait, did I roll the wrong dice last time? I rolled the wrong dice last time.
Oh.
Hey. Yeah, I rolled d6s and it's 3d8s. So you actually take
Oh yeah.
9 points of damage, somehow less.
Yeah.
because dice.
Because dice,
And
they do that.
And you heal 10.
There you go. Well,
And
So
I'm
you-
angry about it.
So you overflow and now you're at 1 hit point.
yes.
Mhm.
No. Yeah. So as you guys are kind of walking, how do I want to do this? Approaching.
How do you want to do this, Adam?
Yeah, I'm thinking because it's an interesting way that you guys are approaching this, and I like it. I will say, because I didn't have a chance to interrupt you as you guys were talking, Willem was down there waiting, and you guys just kind of blew by him
Nice.
because you guys were in a conversation amongst yourselves.
And some of that conversation was taking place telepathically, which is hilarious.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah. So you don't have the parchment to go through the Tefra gates.
Yep. Hey, we're here. Let us in.
Yeah. And
Yeah, no, we were here earlier. We're just going back to the entries. I think they call it. I don't remember what they call it. They call everything here something exactly what it is. The tents, the entrance, the walls.
the individuals that are set up as guards, they don't care. They say you have no uniform or you have no paper. You can go around like everyone else.
If we look off to the side, like how far of a walk around is it?
It's a walk. But there's a very well beaten trail around this portion of the gem of the glittering walls.
We were
How
here.
many guards are there?
We were here
That you
earlier
see?
this morning.
3.
Was it the same guy?
Doesn't
Do we
matter.
recognize the same guy?
It doesn't matter. You might be off hours. Not gonna let you through, man.
Think you could stop us?
You think you want to try to get through?
I'm considering it.
Okay. The tents are right next door. We'll send you right there if you need to go.
The medical
That
tents?
Yeah, but
I'll be like, guard, the only way we're going to the medical tent is if we're carrying your limp body.
an intimidation check if you want. I guess I should start
Ooh,
describing
10.
10.
10.
10. I guess I'll roll for him. He just spits like on the floor, like on the ground before you.
Hey, what's your name,
And
bud?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, hey,
That's
doesn't
a
matter.
weird name.
That's a really weird name,
No.
yeah.
But
Do you want to
Yeah,
know
go
the
ahead.
names of what our names are?
lost puppies.
I'm going to look it out and say, doesn't matter, man. His mom must have loved him. He really didn't matter to her.
Can I get
I'll give you 3 guesses.
I'm the
Can I
Speeder
get-
3000.
I eat people.
He eats people.
Can I get perception checks from all of you?
Sure.
Karos notices something.
Ooh,
Uh,
I got a 13 on eating people.
What was Al's
Not-
roll? He's a +9.
Oh. Nat 20, is that what you were going to say, James?
Oh yeah, I got a nat 26.
Oh, gotcha.
No, I said I rolled a 2.
Oh.
20.
Alright, give me a second. What were Al's roll? I did that. I did that. So what'd you say was Al's roll? Or
He's +9.
+9? Al notices. Alright. Karos and Al notices you guys are like kind of talking shit with this guard. That 3 quickly becomes 6, quickly becomes 12, quickly becomes probably about 20 individuals.
So you had to bring
Well,
your
at least they're
friends.
not. At least they're not underestimating us.
I mean, they still are, I think.
Well,
Hey,
yeah.
Al,
I mean, you know, if it was just 6 assholes, do you think they'd bring 20?
It's true.
Hey,
Okay.
Al, just make one of us a T-Rex, and then, if they still want to stick around, we'll feed them.
Hey Al, where's Luna at?
He didn't tell me where Luna is.
And it's
I don't
Loon
know.
Loon.
Loon.
Yeah,
is-
sorry, Loon. Yeah. So she was
Oh,
flying
shit.
overhead.
Oh shit, we left her in Vault.
No, she's here.
Just like,
She
guys?
was- no, she was perched on the bar
That's right. That's
last
Hmm.
when you guys were sleeping.
Adam, what time of day is it? Is it still daytime or
It's
is it getting to the
afternoon.
evening?
It's daytime. Like it's after lunch.
Is the sun on our side or the other side of the mountain?
Oh god, now you're making me
Should
think of
be
the
our
map.
side.
Okay.
We're on the west side of it, right? If it's afternoon.
Well, I'm just trying to
Yeah,
see.
let's-
I'm trying
yeah.
to see if there's shadows.
Remember, it's not shadows per se. It is dim light or dark.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just trying to see if there's but I want to know if there's shadows.
Sure, of course there's shadows. There's buildings in the wall. The wall is casting a shadow. The people are casting shadows. For sure.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of wave my hand and say, "What about that guy?" and make a shadow image of like a little halfling behind them on the other side of them, running up the passage. But he's going to be in the shadow, so it looks like, or in the shadow, so it looks like there's someone running.
All right, give me a deception check, but you can use your wisdom, since you're using your monk stuff for it.
Okay. Ooh, not too bad. 17.
17. 3. Well, it's 17. 4 of them say shit and start running off.
Uh-oh.
Hey
You're losing
Adam,
friends.
can you remind me only if we know this or have picked it up over the course of being here. So like
Yeah.
in town, there's really not any sort of guard or police. There's not
Yeah.
like things are shitty enough that it's kind of like everybody for themselves, right?
So what you've seen, yeah, and Carlos, I'd say you pick it up fairly quickly just based off your background. Someone asked like the session or two ago if there's a burden cause here. Not really. Basically it's the people that have the coin. They hire sellswords, mercenaries, thugs, etc. to enforce.
So it's not so much that there's any law to enforce. It's more of I have money, so these guys are gonna protect what's mine or
Yeah.
protect something.
Essentially, yeah. It's those with money have influence. Those with influence make the rules, kind of thing.
And then
They
I know that there's some vested. I don't know if we've delved into the details of it, but I know that there's some of the wealthy people have vested interests or have laid claim to certain spots in the mine, but nobody just overarchingly owns the mines. So it's more like these guys are in here to make sure that there's at least a system in place.
Yeah, you guys are not at the mine. You guys are at the entrance to where the Tefra Shelf, where the few rich families own land, and Scoot has a contract that allows them to walk through here to drastically cut down on the travel time because they would otherwise
And that was with
Oh,
Willem, which is who's not with us.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So essentially, like, hey, this is private property, and if
Yes.
you've contracted a paper, you can walk on our sidewalk.
Exactly.
We're in a
doing
gated
their
community.
job. They're doing their job.
But wait,
you guys
if they
are
own
being-
the
yeah.
property, who did they pay to own the property?
Uh-huh.
They centuries of owning it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
It's like inherited. It's not like
Yeah.
they went
So
to City
like the
Hall and
map
got a.
here, like I know the map, like the central portion, like where you guys cling, or like you know, you guys are essentially where we pinged here. Like there's more than just this one building in here. I just never edited the map. I was too lazy. But you know, there you see there's like
My immersion.
there's multiple buildings. There's like a square. It is the nice portion of town. It is
Mhm.
still kept up. It is modern. It is, you know, for the most part, very clean. Uh, the 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 path through here is actually, you know, cobbled and, you know, well kept stone. The guards that you're interacting with, while they are a smattering of races from Marian to Khemri to human, half elf, half orc, Minotaur, like all them, they all have like somewhat of a uniform. Like it's not to the point of where their uniform is matching like the verdant cause, where they have the greens, the golds, and the armors in this. They have like their own pieces of equipment, maybe some that their employers had hired for them or bought for them. So they all have like essentially
So
like
they
a
can,
tabard over them, maybe, or something to kind of
yeah,
indicate that they're working together.
like, oh
Uh,
hey, that guy works here too.
exactly.
Yeah.
And they might not all be exactly hired to the same, let's call it like household or family, but they are all hired to work for the Tefra shelf, which almost in itself is another isolated little town inside of the city, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
I'll just look
Kind
at
of like a
him.
country club.
I'll be like, okay, I feel bad for you guys, but you could have been a little bit nicer. We weren't that, you know, let's just let the guy through. I get you're doing your jobs, but, you know, we don't want to cause a big scene, so I guess we'll walk around, but we'll probably be back here later. Sorry?
It was pretty embarrassing for like 20 of you guys to lose to like 6 of us. You'd all be unemployed after that, I think. Probably just move.
I imagine your employers don't really give you, like, disability injury leave. Like, if you're hurt and you can't do your job, I imagine you're just out of luck. So,
I'm gonna stomp and the ground's gonna tremble while I stomp. Just move! Before I get really, really angry.
no. Let's just walk around. Let's just go around. We don't want to start something.
As you like start to stomp, a number of them draw their weapon, and you see some crossbows and stuff get pulled up.
We'll probably be back later.
Really, guys?
We're gonna bring some documents with us. Apparently, a piece of paper can get you in here, but you know.
And yeah, and Karos and Al would also pick up that some of them don't necessarily draw martial weapons. Some of them start to conjure things or
Oh.
prepare. Yeah. There's a reason they keep power here.
Have a nice day, gentlemen. We'll be back, or gentle people.
Looking forward to seeing your ugly mug.
Another shitty day, guys. Make me walk more and I'm falling pregnant. Sure.
Like as you say
I
that,
haven't moved
I was
yet.
gonna say, I started.
Yeah,
to
Davis.
walk off.
I meant Davis.
yeah, Rock. As you say that, you just see like this one, like it's funny. There's this one little like halfling or gnome. You can't really tell. She just kind of says, "Hey, man, we're just doing our job."
Yep.
Like she's trying to be like the little, like, you know, not so aggressive one.
The voice of reason.
The
Yeah.
good cop.
Yeah, I was like, we're just doing our job, man. Come back with papers and you can come on in as see fit.
So, Adam, I'm going to commit the face of the guy that was an ass to me. And when I
Sure.
see him on the street, I'm going to beat the fuck out of him.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I will allow you to make up what he looks like. So if at one point you feel like you see him, you can say, "I see him." Let's go after him.
And I'm going to stomp a mud hole in his ass.
God damn.
He's just doing
Draknar
his
is
job,
aggressive
dude.
today.
Jeez.
Draknar is aggressive today. All right, that works. Sure.
And then
You have about
after I sit there for like 30 minutes just eyeballing, like, just memorizing every feature of his face, I'm just going to point at him, and then I'm going to turn around and walk off.
I'm gonna fuck that
Alright.
mall cop up.
Hey,
I love. Okay, go ahead.
how many of them would you say are in about a 20 cube space? No.
It's an entrance. I would assume the entrance is probably it's enough for multiple carts, so it's what, probably 30 feet across. Not all of them are going to be standing in the entry. I would say
Just-
maybe about 7 are within a proximity that you can boop them.
Rock,
yeah,
the
so when I'm
spell you
about-
have has a radius effect.
When I'm about 60 feet away, I'm going to cast, because it doesn't hurt anybody, Nefarious Mischief.
Alright, fail, 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 ooh. Nope. They don't have that high bonus, yeah, it's all fail. Alright, fail,
Oh, ooh.
fail. Okay, they all fail.
I
What are you
rolled,
doing?
I rolled the wrong dice. So
Y'all-
the air
Keep
is
in
full of
mind-
molasses, and it's hard for them to move.
Gotcha, so you see, like, they can start to turn around, they're like, what the, they're sticking to the ground a little bit.
Apparently it hovers in the air, which is like
Yeah,
Yeah,
hovers
you
in the air.
You can do as you need.
So
That's hilarious.
take that, losers. And I march off a little quicker. They can't retaliate.
I imagine Al would make some sort of pun about like a sticky situation or something. If he knew. If he knew what was exactly what was happening.
Yes. All right. I congratulate y'all on keeping your restraint because I don't know.
That could have been a bit of a fight if we took it.
No, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe we'll take a break here. Yeah, 'cause it's 10. So let's go ahead and take a break. And then I gotta think like, what would have happened if you guys would have beat the shit out of these guards?
Go murder
because,
hobo on him.
Well, eventually there's gonna be people that either step up to you and stop you, or you guys are gonna just, I don't know, be the bad
Whoa,
guys.
whoa, whoa, whoa! You gotta
See-
change that. They're gonna try to stop us.
Yeah.
See, I was joking, but we could just rule this town. Like,
No, it's a fair point. Y'all technically could,
Yeah.
and like I'm not gonna stop y'all, but I'm just trying to think like that's some shit y'all very very good job refraining. So I don't know if we took a break, but we can take a break unless people want to go for like another 30 minutes before we take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Yeah, but I was on the same line as Danny. I was like, man, fuck that. Don't be talking shit. I'll smack the Jesus out of you.
Yeah. Well, they're not used to competent,
Yeah.
adventurers.
Yeah.
Right.
No opposition that actually matters.
I'd be like, motherfucker, we fought hydras and hags. I will slap the shit out of you.
So.
And you, and you, and you.
Yeah.